Yo, I'm Micks Mowers and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be working on this Allett Cambridge 43, which is a 17-inch battery-powered cylinder mower. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to remove the drive belts and the cylinder belts on this machine. It is a little bit different to the older style petrol-powered ones that we've had before. Bear in mind, this is the battery-powered one powered by the Greenworks 4-amp-hour lithium-ion battery. So pay attention to this video and I'll show you how to remove both the cylinder and the drive belt mechanism on this. I'll be showing you where to get your belts from Allett and the code of the belts you'll be needing as well. But before you work on any machine, it's really important. Remove the grass box, we won't be needing that today. And to make sure that the mower is actually made safe, because we're going to be taking the cylinder out just to remove the belts on this. So we need to make sure we're safe. So remove the little tiny key and again, put it in your pocket. Put it in your pocket so it don't get lost. And then remove your battery out of the machine as well. Now this machine is completely dead. It can't work, it doesn't operate, it's completely dead, okay? Now it's safe to now remove the cylinder and work on this machine with all the power source has been removed. So to replace the belts on this Allett Cambridge, it's just a little bit different. There's a little bit more involved to remove it, but anyone can do it, especially you at home. First of all, get your 5mm Allen key and then just slacken off the two cylinder bolts which are associated to holding the cartridge in place. Now these shouldn't be done up tight, they should be nice and snug. And once you get them moving, you can then just pretty much just do it by hand anyway and put them in the grass box or in a tub, whatever you've got. And then just start to remove the other side one too. There's only two on these to do. Once you have removed those two, we can then move on with the process with the side inspection cover, because that needs to be removed as well as the top as well. So we're going to loosen off this second 5mm Allen bolt, put it to one side, and then we're going to lift up and remove the actual cylinder from the mower itself and put that down on the floor, because it's quite heavy. Now it's down on the floor, we've now got access, and the reason you have to move the cylinder is because on the front of this mower there's two 4mm Allen key bolts which have to be removed very simply. And again, once you get them started by hand, you can then just retract them. Don't lose them, put them in your grass box out of the way or in a little tiny tub. Slacken the other one off. I'm doing this in real time, I'm not going to edit the video, I just want to show you in real time how long it takes to remove the belts and what have you. Therefore, you know you've got time to do it at home. Once you've removed the two bolts from the front of the machine, you then have to spin the whole mower around backwards, so it's facing you girls and guys. It's not heavy. You then have 3 bolts to remove on the back. And again, once you've got those bolts running, you can then do those by hand as well. That's the first one slackened off. There's the second one. They're all the same. So there's not one longer than the other. And remove that one out. And just remove that first one we took off originally. Spin him out. Right, now those bolts have been removed, there's one more bolt to remove, which will be right up the top. So there's 6 bolts in total. So this one up here must also be removed. And again, in comparison to the other bolts that are on this machine, they are exactly the same length. So it doesn't matter which one goes where, okay, they're all the same. Now that 6 bolts have been removed, just pick up this inspection plate itself, a little wiggle, and it's held in place by a little tiny tab on this far end here, okay? Put your cover down to one side, put it out of the way. And now's a fantastic time to get in here and to have a tire, because grass does collect in here. Use a brush, and a leaf blower or an air compressor just to tie the machine up. And you can just give a little tiny spray of WD-40 inside here just to keep the decking looking fantastic. So now the machine is dead and the cover's been removed this side. All you now have to do is remove the 4 associated bolts with the 5mm Allen key and just run them off. And they are captive, so those bolts won't come out, they just spin. When you get to a certain point, they just keep free spinning and they're not holding. So there's 2 to do up the top, and then there's 2 to do down the bottom. Now you can tip the lawnmower back onto its bottom if you want to. Just be mindful that the machine is not weighted now because we've taken the cylinder out. There's that one. And there's one more hiding down here. There it is. As I say, this is real time, so you get a good idea of how long it's going to take you to do this. And you'll find this out because if for any reason at all you lose your cylinder or you lose your drive motion, then you'll know that either a belt has failed, or in fact one of your drive gears or one of your cylinder gears has failed, one or the other. It's just a question of just making sure all these bolts are undone before you start to really pry the machine off. And this one here has been a bit sticky up the top. I think it's this one. There it goes. And they've made them now catch this, so when you tip them upside down now you don't lose them, which is a fantastic thing, because the older ones used to lose those. So put that down to one side. And now we're nearly ready to remove your cylinder belt and your drive belt, whichever one has failed, broken, or just needs servicing for repair. You're going to need two spanners. You're going to need a 14mm spanner, and round on the output shaft, just here, there's a little tiny cutout on the shaft which has been designed so you can actually lock off the output shaft from the motor. Okay, so put your 14mm spanner in there, and then using a 19mm, we can then start to work over here. Now your cylinder belt will actually come off without using a 14mm. All you have to do is just pull this tension pulley forward, and then just start to slip it off of the top output shaft itself and just rotate it backwards clockwise, okay, and then your belt will come straight off. So your belt for this one, it says to be a Z26, which is a 10 times 600 belt, okay. That's the identification code I have on that belt there for your cylinder. So that's your cylinder belt done. As I say, just pull the tension pulley forward slightly, and then just rotate it in a clockwise position, and your belt will come off, okay. Okay, now we're ready to remove the drive belt, okay, which is located at the back here. Now on the output shaft, on the actual motor itself, closest to you will be a little tiny cutout, which is where a 14mm spanner will reside, just in there. And that comes with your kit. Then simply get your 19mm, and by putting your 19mm on, holding your 14mm nice and tight, you can then separate those two up, just like so. Hold your 14mm nice and still, and then loosen off the 19mm nut. Take the nut off, and that's followed very closely by a washer. No losing no bits here. I find a takeaway Chinese tub brilliant for such occasion to put your bits in. And we all love Chinese, right? Now remove your cylinder pulley, and then that will be associated with a little tiny aluminium spacer. And then this pulley here is a split pulley. It comes off in sections. So actually it's a split one. Here's one part. Then your belt will come off. And then there's a second part to that pulley there. That can stay there and remain. Now just gently tip your belt onto its side, and then your drive belt will come off. Associated number with this looks to be, I can't find it, but what I'll do is I'll actually put the belt's numbers in the description in the comment section on my video, okay, because that one's just a bit worn. So now we've got the mower taken apart. Again, a good time to clean up, because there is a bit of grass that does collect inside these mowers. A good blowout, a little bit of grease up if you want to put a little bit of fine grease in there. To put your belts back on couldn't be easier. It's a reverse process. So just tip your belt onto its side, and that way it will then feed down in between the two pulleys. Just hook it down the bottom for now, okay? And we're going to bring it up and over. And we want it to go inside there, but outside of that one. This belt does not go like that, okay? Because it will rub against this belt guide here. It's got to go like so. Then you want to grab the second part to your split pulley. That goes in, and then grab your spacer. That goes on top. Now here's the important bit. Get hold of your belt, pinch it all the way up, okay? Pinch it all the way up like this, and then push your pulley in, okay? You don't want it so that the belt sits down and you push it in like that, okay? So just grab hold of your belt, push it all the way up, so you can see it up here, push your pulley all the way home and your spacer, okay? Make sure that your belt guides are in the right location, associated. And then you want to grab your second pulley, which is for your cylinder, And these are shaped in a rectangle, so it actually will fit on the output shaft, just like so. Then we can grab our cylinder pulley, and we're going to put it on, and just going to rotate that pulley round in an anti-clockwise direction. That's all gone lovely. Make sure the tension of pulley is correct. We're then going to get our washer and our 19mm Loctite nut. Just run it on. Then grab your 14mm spanner, goes on the back of the output shaft, and then simply do up your 19mm nut. And again, hold your 14mm and then just do that up nice and snug. It does not have to be on there super duper tight. You'll feel it, okay? Nice and snug. And that's both your belts now fitted, both cylinder and your drive. And you'll see the tensioner is correct for both of those, for both cylinder and for the drive. So that's all good. Now what I've got to do is put the rest of the mower back together. Okay, so with your drive belts and cylinder belts now either replaced due to failure or just due to service or just a maintenance check, we now need to start to put this mower back together. It's not a long process and I won't drag it out. Simply pick up your output shaft cover. As I say, there's a little tiny tab just here, and that sits in a little tiny groove just located here. So just get hold of your cover and gently put it into the slot. Work it down into position, and then you want to grab your 6 4mm bolts. The first one to go in will be on top of the actual motor itself, and before we snug these all the way down, you're just going to well seat them, just so they've actually bitten, okay? And one here. Now if they don't go in first off, just give them a little bit of a wiggle, they will go. As I say, we're not going to tighten these down yet, we're just going to snug them in. We're then going to turn the mower around so it's facing you girls and guys. And we've got another 3 to put in on the back. Let's lift the guard up slightly, and once you locate one, the others will pretty much self-locate. Once you've got them in, all 6 bolts, which are the 4 mils, we can then just run those bolts home. And again, you don't have to hang on them. They just need to be well seated. Well seated so they're not loose enough to fall out, because they're not nylon lockers. So once you've got them snugged down, just put it in, and a quarter of a turn should be ample on each of these, just to snug them home. And that goes with every single bolt that you've removed. So that's the 3 at the back and the top motor one now done. And we've got the 2 now on the front of the mower, which will be where your cartridge goes. Just snug them down. Beautiful. It's a touch more on that one. Happy. Now that the top cover's been put back on, we now want to put the side cover on. So pick that up. As I say, that has got captive bolts in here now, which don't fall off, which is fantastic. And just gently tap, tap, tap all the way around. Grab your 5mm this time, not your 4. And we're just going to run them home. And again, you haven't got to hang on them. Just you'll know when to stop. Now, if they don't go, just a tap. Once one goes, it'll start to pull the rest in. And the length of this video will be how long it actually takes you to change your belts on this machine. So that's why I feel it's important not to edit it, so you actually get a real time effort. Now, I'm not dragging this out. It is how long it's taking me. Once you've put your side cover back on, it's now time to put your cartridge back in. Again, time to get a bit of a clean off if need be, because grass does collect in here. Just present your cylinder to the mower and then just lift it up so the white gear has room to move. Slide it in, wiggle, wiggle. 2 5mm bolts, and they're associated with holding your cylinder in place. One will go down here, and one will go down here. And again, if it doesn't quite just go, just get hold of your cylinder and just give it a little tiny wiggle, just so it finds a home. And as you run those bolts in, wiggling does help. it will like a little bit of a wiggle. And then just run that bolt up. Again, doesn't have to be snug, doesn't have to be super tight. It's just got to be well seated. Don't hang on them. I'd hate you to cause damage to your brand new machine. Once that's snugged down, you should have your 4mm Allen key, your 5mm Allen key, and your 2 spanners, which will be provided with your mower when you buy it brand new. We can then test the machine by opening up the door, getting your Greenworks battery, slide that in, and then just push the green lever down, push the battery all the way home, then go into your pocket, which is where we put that little tiny red key earlier on, didn't we? Just for safety's sake. Grab your little tiny red key, put that in, it doesn't matter which way around it goes either way. Close your door. And then I'm going to put the speed setting to number 1. I don't want to go off like a rabbit. We can now key in, now push a button in, and then activate the cylinder. So the cylinder now works, and what's important is when you let go of the cylinder, you want that cylinder to stop spinning, okay? So that's good, and the drive works. Lovely. So now the lawnmower's had its belts changed, you're now good to go mowing. So just don't forget, this is a true life reflection of how long it takes to remove the belts on this Allett Cambridge cylinder mower. And I feel it's important not to edit the video out, so you get a real-time effort of that. If you enjoy this sort of video, Micks Mowers and Mower Man, hit your subscribe button and whack the old bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be notified that someone uploads another video, and I have other videos on this Allett Cambridge range within my playlist. So go check out my Allett Cambridge playlist, where I'll show you how the do's and the don'ts, how to change the cylinders, how to change them, swap them over, how to change your gearing, all that sort of good stuff you'll find on Micks Mowers and Mower Man. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching Micks Mowers. I hope to see you girls next time very, very soon. But don't forget, much more importantly, take it easy.